is my megaphone after all. Well, sisters and brothers, comrades and friends, I managed to visit 5 picket lines this morning, and I'm very pleased at this rally to be able to bring you support and solidarity from the Socialist Party in Coventry, but also as chair of one of the largest Unite branches in the city, from my union members from Unite, who hope in the not too distant future to be balloting alongside you with the GMB, with Unison, with CWU, so that the whole of the public sector is united in this key battle to defend pay, conditions and particular pensions for which we're here today. You should be very proud of the fact that there are approximately 700,000 of you on strike today, in one of the largest days of strike action seen in this country for many, many decades. Teachers, lecturers, those from the civil service, you weren't the ones. You weren't the ones who caused the crisis for which this government is asking you to pay. It was the bankers and their casino economy, and it should be the bankers that are paying for this crisis, not the pensions of you who are here today. Now, we've heard 1 or 2 teachers who've spoken about the pension age being raised for many of them up to 68, and I've heard that in fact in several schools in Coventry they're now making special arrangements for that process, so that all lessons that take place on the first floor in schools in Coventry will actually be timetabled 3 minutes later to allow the teacher's stair lift to get all the way up to the first and second. Actually, that didn't go back too bad, that time, did it? I did try it out at Woodlands and Tyler this morning along the way. Today is a warning shot for the government. They will have to listen. For many of you on action today, it is the first time, not just the ATL as a union, but for many of you as individuals, it's the first time you've taken strike action. You do not do that lightly. And Michael Gove and other Tory ministers must listen to that. But if they don't, this should be a warning shot that should be widened in the autumn. The National Shop Stewards Network has organised on September the 11th, actually Armistice Day, down in London, for the opening of the TUC conference, a national march and rally and lobby of the TUC to ask them to facilitate and to make available to all public sector unions who want to take strike action a date when all workers together, perhaps 4 million this time in the autumn, can come together in defence of public services and particular of pensions. But it's not going to happen automatically. That sort of action is going to have to be built for. So after you've been to Birmingham, after you've been back here at 12:15 outside the Council House for the second rally of the day that will take place, if you've still got some energy left in you tonight, in the Methodist Central Hall at 7:30, there will be a local meeting of the National Shop Stewards Network that will bring together all the activists from today's dispute, together with those from the GMB, CWU, Unite and Unison, who want to discuss the local plans to make sure that that sort of joint action can take place. Now, I want to finish with one last point, and it is controversial. Wouldn't be me if it wasn't. Today's an industrial action. The autumn might well see a wider industrial action. But we all know these sort of problems don't get solved by industrial action alone. They need a political solution. Somebody has to change their mind in government, or the next government has to have a different agenda. And that's why it's disappointing, if not entirely unexpected, that not only did the leader of the Tory party condemn your action today, but yesterday on the TV, the leader of the Labour Party condemned your action today. And I think that is wrong. Now, all your unions who are taking action here today, none of you are affiliated to the Labour Party. ATL, NUT, UCU and PCS are non-affiliated unions. But the next layer of unions to come along, My Union Unite, Unison, GMB and CWU, are the biggest ones, paying millions of pounds a year to the Labour Party. And I think members of those unions have to ask a simple question. If the Labour Party is prepared to receive millions of pounds of hard-earned subs from union members, they have to deliver on pensions. If the Tories are making cuts or reductions in pension entitlement, Labour has to come out and say, if Labour get in tomorrow morning, they would reverse those cuts.
Absolutely.
And if they don't, then I think just as PCS, and talk to any PCS member here who's been to a conference in the last 4 years, they've been through a long debate in their union about setting up a political fund. They're now in the debate about what do you do with that political fund when elections come along. Who do you support? PCS are considering perhaps standing their own candidates, supporting other union candidates, standing those who are fighting against the cuts. And it's not that it's not happened before. Remember only a few years ago in Kidderminster, when local people wanted to fight against this hospital closing down and they couldn't get any help from the main three parties, they formed a party of their own, Kidderminster Health Concern, stood in the elections, got councillors elected and got Dr. Richard Taylor twice elected as an MP. My last message to you is this: by all means, let's have solidarity on a day like today. Let's broaden the action. Let's call for all workers to take action on the same day in the autumn, a 24-hour general strike. And I agree with George. Let's all go down to London on a day and fill the streets of London. But we have the right to ask those politicians who've got more clout in this country than I have, deliver with your union money. If you get paid by unions, deliver on pensions, deliver on jobs, deliver on pay. And if you don't do that, don't be surprised if more people in Coventry, like in Kidderminster, draw the conclusions that perhaps local union people need better local union candidates. Thanks very much for listening.